republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's Pride, from every mountain side, let freedom ring.
Drew Van Horn has our invocation.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, at this time of year when we remember our independence, we pray that you would let us remember that it came with cost. We ask that you would continue to bless our country, our leaders, both here and nationally and around the world. We thank you for this food, the hands that prepare it. May it strengthen us and nourish us to do your service, and may we remember those not as fortunate as we are. In your Son's name we pray.
Amen. And Mark Keith has our visiting Rotarians today.
Okay, today from Lake Hickory we have Jim Farrell, Floyd Lucas, Bill Layer,
All right, I'm changing a little bit so everybody can hear. Do we have any guest Rotarians to my left of the room? Any guests of Rotarians? Any guests to the center of the room? Any guests to the center? Any guests to the right of the room? All right, Carl, we got one.
President Mark, I'd like to introduce my wife, Sherry. She's here for the program. This is great. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. And serving double duty today, Drew Van Horn has our Sunshine Committee Rotary moment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for those applause. We appreciate them. We have a number of birthdays. In June 29th, John Hall. June 30th was Clyde Taylor. July 2nd, Meg Locke. July 3rd, Les Wicker. July 6th, Rudy Wright. July 7th, David Myers. July 8th, John Ross. And July 11th is Jeff Runnenberg and Sarah Willis. Also, I'd like to announce that on July the 5th, Tom and Mary Richards celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. Wow. So congratulations. During Father's Day, my children and I come from a rather conservative, strict little family background being raised, and my kids gave me this, things you'll never hear my dad say. 1, well, how about that? I'm lost. Looks like we'll have to stop and ask for directions. Number 2, you know, Pumpkin, now that you're 13, you'll be ready for unchaperoned car dates. Won't that be fun? Number 3, I noticed that all your friends have a certain negative attitude. I like that. Number 4, here's a credit card and the keys to my new car. Go crazy. Number 5, what do you mean you want to play football? Figure skating's not good enough for you, son? Number 6, your mother and I are going away for the weekend. You might want to consider throwing a party. Number 7, well, I don't know what's wrong with your car. Probably one of those little doohickey thingies, you know, that makes it run or something. Oh, just go have it looked at a mechanic and pay whatever he tells you to pay. Number 8, no son of mine is going to live under my roof without an earring. So stop your belly aching and let's go to the mall.
Thank you, Drew. If I could get Bob Conklin to come up, please. I'm not sure if we missed it or if it just wasn't in, but wanted to present you with your plaque for being club treasurer last year and for all the work you did. Thank you very much. If you looked at the spoke today before you got here, you would notice there was no song of the day. I know it's a lot of people are going to be upset about it, but we are shelving song of the day for 1 year, or at least 1 year. I guess Bob will decide if he wants to bring it back or not. But in place of that, there'll be some different Rotarian Foundation messages that will appear there from time to time. But for this week, I did ask people to bring coins. So if you did bring your coins, this week, and I don't know if anybody did bring coins for the cart bucket, but if you did, or if you do have some, get them out now, because we are going to give away a free lunch to whoever has the oldest coin. So if everybody would check their coins before dropping them in the bucket. I don't know if anybody even has any out there, but
We can read the date on the coin, okay? Can you hold it up there so we can read it?
that's right. If anybody does have a coin, do I have anybody that has a coin older than 2010? Raise your hand. I got at least one older than 2010. Anybody else? Got two older than 2010, okay?
Got 2,000.
All right, so we got a 2000. Anybody have one? Anybody in the 1990s? We got 1995 or earlier. I got a couple people 95 or earlier.
1961.
1961. Can anybody beat 1961? Still looking. A few more moments here. We're still looking through them. Do remember, do not put these back in your pocket. They have to go in the cart bucket. For participating, you have to give them up. All right, 60. A 44. 1944. Can anybody beat 1944? Going once. Going twice. Gone. Drew Van Horn. Sandy, congratulations, Sandy. I got a free lunch for you. You can get it afterwards. Congratulations. Free lunch. Free lunch for having the oldest coin. Please drop those in the cart buckets, please. Announcements. Also making another change. If you have a non-Rotary announcement, you are certainly welcome to continue to give that, but it'll cost you $1. And you must also put that in the cart bucket as a sample. The Crawdads are coming back to town next Tuesday. Come out for a chance to win $10,000 next Tuesday at the ballpark. And as you'll see, I will put my $1 in the cart bucket for making a non-Rotary announcement. So any non-Rotary announcements will cost you $1. We will be using the 4-way test. I will not be watching you on that. We are still looking, if people would like to participate, we're putting together the plan for this year still through the strategic plan. We have some different spots, committee chairs that we're looking for. So if you'd like to get involved and there's an area that you have a special interest in, let me know. Off the top of my head, I know we need somebody to coordinate invocations upcoming starting in August. Schedule that, make sure people are aware, fill in any holes if people are absent. We also need, Susan is going to do cart buckets, but she would like to have a co-chair for days she can't make it, which basically, that's one of the easier jobs, just a matter of be here and pick up the buckets. So see Susan if you'd like to help her do that. Don't forget, we have plenty of opportunities to volunteer through one of the areas that we give money to, the Rug Bug, and that's been sent out by Bruce. I believe you're looking for 2 to 3 volunteers each time. There's about 10 different opportunities or so, John, is that correct? 12 opportunities, so hopefully everybody can find a time that works. $1. Well, no, because we donate to that one, so that one counts as a Rotarian event. Also, we have a back-to-school festival that Robin, one of our waitresses, is putting on for underprivileged kids, and we're collecting supplies, both school supplies and hygiene items. So if you could help her out, she does a great job, as do the rest of them, serving us water and tea and coffee to keep you awake while I'm up here speaking. So we're going to have the box out there the next 4 days, or the next 4 meetings, today and 3 more. Also, Dan is going to put out some red buckets the next couple of meetings. So if you'd rather just donate money instead of going to get school supplies or hygiene items, you'll have that opportunity as well the next 3 meetings. Does anybody else have any other announcements they would like to make?
Holy Trinity Lutheran Church and the Episcopal Church of the Ascension are doing a habitat house together. So if you would like to contribute to that build with some elbow grease, you can go to htl.org lchickory.org. Go to our website. There's a link to the sign-up page there. We're working again this Saturday. A little elbow grease, putting up a house off Falling Creek Road.
Thank you very much. Anybody else have anything?
We'll make you pay. We'll make you pay.
I just said we're going to do the four-way test. Can't call out the first guy, can we? Steve?
Where do you want to mark?
I just want to be a reminder for the 10th annual YMCA Center will be celebrated at Holler Mills next Thursday. Public is invited. It'll be a fun time. I think our home Lenore University Rick Lawrence is there as our honorary guest.
Steve's getting his dollar's worth. He's not going to sit down.
Sorry, it's 6 o'clock is the rededication at the teen center, and then 7 p.m. is at the Holler Mill for the celebration. And it's $20 per
And that was Thursday?
Yes.
This Thursday?
Next week.
Yeah, today is Thursday. A week from today? A week from today, 6 o'clock at the Teen Center, 7 o'clock at Holler Mill. Any other announcements? All right. Susan Vincent has our program today.
Thank you, Mark. I have the great honor today of introducing not just a colleague, but a really good friend. I met Frances when she was working at the Women's Center. Isn't that right? Quite a while ago. And you're going to find that Frances is quite an interesting person. I mean, she has spent most of her life taking the lead, building trust, and sharing her heart. And she's done it through lots of schools and education, and with educational administrative jobs and just some of those, and also with a lot of volunteering. Some of the volunteering she's done has been for the Academy for Spiritual Formation in Gallant, is that how you pronounce it? Gallant, Alabama. She did some prison ministry and coordinated the writing of an Advent devotional booklet with inmates at the Western Youth Institution in Morganton. She was a member and president of Women's Resource Center here in Hickory, and that was as late as 2014. She's also a volunteer and works diligently as a member and coordinator of the education and programs. Actually, this was last year. For SIR, if any of you have heard of Senior Information Resources, this is a new nonprofit organization. I intend to have them up here too sometime this year. And presently, she is the co-founder of Adult Children of Aging Parents, or ACAP, which she's going to talk to you about today. Frances has done a lot of interesting things too as an employee. She was resident life director at Furman University for 2 years. For 8 years, she was the Associate Dean of Students at North Georgia College, the North Georgia College and State University in Dahlonega, Georgia. She has also been, for 5 years and I guess 7 years, she was Associate Director of Admissions and then Director of Alumni Affairs, the Major Gift Officer at Berry College in Rome, Georgia. And she's also done work in the Upper Room in Nashville, Tennessee as the Regional Director of Development. She did that for 6 years, and then also most recently was employed at our very own Lenore Ryan University as the Major Gifts Officer for 3 years. I am very proud to introduce her to you. You will find this a very unique program. There is nothing like it in the country. And so with no more to ado, or however you say that, please give a warm welcome to Frances Hall.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Excuse me. It is really great to be here. It's great to be among friends. I have had the opportunity to see several of you that I have known and that you have known of ACAP from its very, very beginnings, which has been a while ago. And now we're going to hope that technology will cooperate with me today. I say, I hope technology works with me. How many of you either are or have been an adult child of an aging parent or a caregiver for an aging parent? Quite a few of you. Okay. We've all heard about the coming tsunami, the silver tsunami, the aging population in our country. AARP says that about 8,000 to 10,000 people every single day turn 65. And that trend will continue for the next 20 years. So there are a lot of us. How many baby boomers are there in the group? Okay, we're in a big group, as we know. According to the United Nations, though, this is a global trend. The aging population is a global trend. By 2030, 55 countries, including the United States, anticipate that 20% or more of their population will be 65 or older by 2030. While we've heard a great deal about the aging population and its impact, we have not really heard very much about the impact of the aging population on families and on the adult child caregiver. In the United States, there are estimated to be 10 million of us adult children of aging parents who are providing some sort of care for our parents. That is a 300% increase in the past 15 years. And that number too will continue to grow as we age, as our population ages, and as we live longer. About 1 in 3 people already are caregivers for someone who is ill or aged or disabled. But the relationship between the parent and child is unlike any other kind of relationship. Consequently, the caregiving relationship for adult children to parents is unlike any other kind of caregiving relationship. In addition, we not only have the aging of our population, but we also have a huge shift in women's roles, and women have been always the caregiver for families. We also have technology and changes in how medical services are delivered. We also have families that are distant, either geographically or emotionally. All of those combine to make caregiving a very different situation today than in yesteryear. But still, 80 to 90% of the care that is done for aging persons, for our elders, is done by family or by friends. And if there is an adult child in the mix, then that person typically is the frontline support for the aging parent. Bottom line, caring for an aging parent has significant impact for not only the caregiver, the family caregiver, but also for the family as a whole, for the community, and for our nation. Caring for an aging parent can certainly be a joy, and it is an honor. And most adult child caregivers, or most caregivers, at the end of the journey will say that it definitely has been worth it. But the reality is there are challenges that come with being an adult child caregiver. Everybody Loves Raymond. Anybody ever watch that show? Everybody Loves Raymond is a wonderful show about a family and family dynamics, and particularly the dynamics and the relationship between the adult child and spouses and the parents. There is one particular one that we found that is just a great illustration of some of the activities that we as adult child caregivers offer to our parents, and some of the feelings that go along with it. So take a look and see what you think. Oh. Okay. Technical difficulty, maybe volume. house who can help with volume?
Get somebody.
Okay, let me. Okay.
Try putting the mic close to the.
Did you check your mute on the, in the bottom track, on the right? On the bottom right with the volume, you know where that is?
I did, I tested it.
And does it?
It's all the way up.
You don't have mute check?
Okay.
That's my solution.
If we can find out how to do this, it's a great clip. But let me just go on in the interest of your time. Caregiving for aging parents can take a lot of different forms. Everything from the once-a-week phone calls to parents to make sure that they are eating and taking their medications, all the way to taking mom and dad to doctors to make sure that they are at their medical appointments and some additional listening ears, all the way to they're moving into the home with you and your family to provide the care that they need when they can no longer live by themselves. Jane Everson and I are 2 of the 10 million adult child caregivers in the United States. Our caregiving journeys, just like everybody here and all of yours, in some ways our caregiving journeys are very similar. In some ways they are very, very different. But as caregivers, Jane and I realize that there are some real needs. There's a real lack of information, of resources, of support and community for those of us who are adult child caregivers. So often we are our parents' support. We are their advocates. We are their financial and emotional supports. We're their researchers. We are their chauffeurs. And we even are their decision makers at times. And we need help in doing all of those. So when you recognize a need, you have some choices. You can either do the best you can with what you have. You can give up. You can try to just completely ignore it. But if this situation, if the need is strong enough and personal enough and compelling enough, you do something about it. You try to find a solution to it. And that's what Jane and I did. In 2012, we created and we established ACAP Community. ACAP Community, a community of adult children of adult children of aging parents, is a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization at this point. Its mission is simply to help adult children do a good job of caring for their parents and caring for themselves as we are caring for our parents, but also as we are preparing for our own years as elders. Caring for aging parents can be challenging. Sometimes we need information. We need to know about the medical condition or diagnosis. We need to know about the medications. We need to know what are available services and where they are and how to access them. Sometimes we need to know resources. We need to know who to go to when we have a need. Where do we find out whatever we need and how do we access that information and those resources? We also, though, from time to time, and probably more than we really recognize, we need support. We need encouragement from people who really understand what we're going through. Caregiving is not always easy. ACAP Communities establishes chapters in interested and appropriate communities. Then those ACAP chapters provide monthly educational programs for adult child caregivers and other caregivers in the community. Those programs are led by experts in aging and caregiving, physicians, other medical staff, attorneys, financial services folk, social services and elder care professionals, people who really can come and share expert information with adult-child caregivers. We use the same experts then to do audio podcasts each month that people can access through our website and through some other sites. We also offer book reviews and other resources online. And this year, we will begin offering an annual conference for adult-child caregivers. As Jane's journey and my journey with our parents, our mothers, continue, what we're finding is that more and more people are finding ACAP. They're coming to the monthly programs. They are accessing the information on the website. They're listening to the podcasts. Over the past 3 years, the ACAP community has gained lots of recognition here in this area and has expanded beyond this area. Area news media and local businesses have been wonderful in supporting ACAP and providing the publicity and being sponsors for the monthly programs. We've realized that our podcasts are now being listened to by people not only nationally, but also internationally. We've begun an ACAP chapter in Pennsylvania at State College, which is Center County, Pennsylvania, and we already are in conversation with other communities about starting chapters there. We also, the conference that we're going to be holding in November, we are partnering with Northwest ACAP, part of Wake Forest School of Medicine, to do that conference. We also survey our attendees each year, and we've done that for 3 years. What we are learning from them is 90% of the participants say that they have learned new information and resources, they've gained new skills, and they have gained support from other caregivers. More than 70% confirm that they feel more balanced and less anxious at home and at work just because of coming to ACAP. And now that we've conducted the surveys for 3 years, we're finding that there is a direct relationship between coming to ACAP programs and feeling less caregiving stress. So we feel really, really good about those kinds of statistics. Why is ACAP so important? Rosalind Carter states it best. There are only 4 kinds of people in the world: those who have been caregivers, those who are currently caregivers, those who will be caregivers, and those who will need caregivers. Thank you very much for letting me share ACAP with you.
Do we have any questions?
Yes.
So you were quoting Rosalind Carter there at the end. Are you connected in any way with the Rosalind Carter Institute and their caregiving programs?
The question is, are we connected with Rosalind Carter and her institute in Georgia? We are not at this point. They do fabulous work, and we are hoping at some point that we will be. We are very new, and Jane and I are very part-time doing this. So we are running as fast and as hard as we can, but we definitely know of it and want to be part of that at some point. Yes. Thank you.
Francis,
Sure.
You started this ACAP locally. This is not a national organization that you joined, that you started as a hope to make it national.
That is correct. The reality is, Susan said that I had worked at Lenore-Rhyne for 3 years, and during that time my mother moved from her home in Alabama to North Carolina and had a very difficult time with that adjustment, and I actually started the ACAP by inviting faculty and staff to come and join me for lunch once a month, and out of that has grown what we have now. So you're right, Shipper, we actually started ACAP and ACAP community. We now are getting to be a national program, and we want to be. We are now a 501c3, and we are looking to have more chapters both here in North Carolina as well as outside the state. And I've had conversation with people in California. We have the chapter in Pennsylvania. There are a couple of areas in North Carolina that we are looking at to expand to. So stay tuned, buckle your seatbelts, because with 10 million adult child caregivers out there, the need is tremendous. Thank you.
questions?
Francis, thank you for a great program. Sure hit home with our members here. Most of them are either adult children or they're caring for aging parents, or some of them are probably some combination of both right now. So on behalf of the Rotary Club, I'd like to give you a coin with Paul Harris on the front and a 4-way test on the back. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Dane, if you could come on up for the Service Above Self raffle while he makes his way up here. Don't forget the rug bug opportunities, as well as bringing school supplies and hygiene items next week. Looks like we are down to 5 cards. There's 5 cards left in the bucket here, or in the pick from. Don't forget, online makeup instructions are in the spoke. Dan's taking his time, he's dragging it out. Anticipation. We collected $166 today. $3,963 in the pot. I hope nobody wins today, or my second meeting will be empty. All right, the last 3 digits are 097. 097. And that table never wins. Yeah, there you go.
No, he doesn't. But he does, he has been on. But yeah, but this time.
I'm glad I am.
All right, Avery. Avery's got it here. Avery, feeling lucky today?
Yeah.
He says yes. It was a black card, but it is a 6 of clubs. 4 cards left. All right. If you would please stand, and let's close with the 4-way test. I almost forgot. I'd like to thank guests of Rotarians as well as visiting Rotarians. Please feel free to make up with us anytime. Of the things we think, say, and do. This is the truth. It's fair, all concerned.